Well, industrial unrest could be brewing. The Bahamas Public Services Union threatening a mass strike should the government not commence negotiations for a new industrial agreement. It's the country's largest union with thousands of members. And today, B.P.S.U President John Pinder was clear in the steps they will take to bring resolution to what he says are issues that have been outstanding for far too long. We get this story from Clint Watson.
At a time when the country is beginning to slowly bounce back, it could cripple the economy once again. But President of the Bahamas Public Services Union, John Pinder, is adamant that if they're not taken seriously by the government, they will resort to the tactics they've had to use in the past to get what's overdue to their members.
If the government refuses to come to the table, then we will ask for a strike vote to be taken. And we'll have to bring industrial action against them to force them to the table for the general public service industrial agreement to commence. We still have not been given a date yet as to when the government will pay the increments owed to the persons, the lump sum payment owed to them.
Pinder says civil servants are hurting. In fact, his union has had to step in and assist members with paying utility bills.
If you've seen the amount of loans we had to give over the last 6 weeks for persons whose electricity's supply was disrupted and disconnected, our members are hurting financially, and the government has to at least give them what they're entitled to. So we would hate to have to do it, but I think it reached a point now where we have to do what we have to do to get the kind of results we're looking for.
The industrial agreement for civil servants expired a year ago. The union submitted its counter-proposal, but has heard nothing further from the government, although negotiations were supposed to have started after the budget debate.
But it appears though the managers or the government is not coming on board with trying to do business in a different way. We hate to have to disrupt services. We believe that we ought to be able, through the social dialogue, iron out issues so don't reach to the point where industrial actions has to be taken to get anything resolved.
But talks of industrial unrest could come in a few weeks for the airport authority as they prepare for the busy Thanksgiving weekend travel. It appears members there aren't getting any resolution and outstanding increments paid to them.
I certainly not satisfied with the management there, especially at the human resource area. So that is not resolved in a timely fashion. You know, you can expect some actions coming from there very soon.
The same issues are also popping up in other departments like the Public Hospitals Authority, where the new shift system is reportedly not working, and staffers say they're simply not getting enough rest between shifts. Pinder says it's just simply too much issues in too many departments.
If the government feels as though they're taking our kindness or weakness, well, we can have to show otherwise.
Now, a lot will be hinging on that meeting with the Prime Minister that's set to take place sometime between now and the 14th. Should that not happen, then according to Pinder, they move now to the next step. Clint Watson, ZNS News.
Additionally, Pinder says the government is hindering the advancement of qualified civil servants by rehiring retired supervisors.
Places are being asked to stay on for long lengths of time. Even when they retire, sometimes they come back in very senior positions. It causes those persons at the bottom not to be able to move up. Once the top move and somebody is promoted to the top position, then it has a chain reaction, a domino effect. So positions are filled all the way up to the top. And sometimes this could affect and impact as much as 15 persons. And so we're asking the government to review their decisions on continuously allowing persons who have met the mandatory age to come back into public service in top positions. There was a policy in the past that once you retire from the public service, if you come back at least 2 ranks below that which you retired at. That's not happening.
Now, late this afternoon, we caught up with the Minister of State for Finance and the Public Service, Shivrago Lang. Lang says he's shocked and surprised by threats of a strike by the B.P.S.U leader. In fact, he says these threats are coming out of left field.
I'm not aware that he is threatening a mass strike. It'd be wonderful to find out what the basis of such a threat would be. But, you know, Mr. Pinder knows who the head of government is, and he knows who the ministers responsible for the public service are. And if there are issues which he would like to have addressed, I would have thought he could very sensibly be able to communicate that to us. And
Lang says with the country under its pressing financial situation, this is not the time for those actions or threats.
This country is seeking to rebound from a very difficult economic recession, one that has impacted the world. And, those of us who love it, who care about its safety and its stability, who care about its economic progress, we will act responsibly to ensure that that happens.